So in watching some other booktube videos, I've discovered that a common trend is filming in front of your books. I decided to follow that trend. These are all of my books, hidden by cardboard. I apologize in advance for these next few videos of mine. They are probably not gonna look that great. My family is redoing the carpets on the top floor of our house, so everything's kind of a mess right now. I will also be switching to a new room in a few weeks, so things will look a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. You'll actually be able to see my books. Please allow me a few weeks of messiness and whatever. I promise it'll get better. Moving on to the main part of this video. Today I wanted to review a book that wrecked me. The book is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and oh my word, if you have not read this yet, get on it. Since Casey and I haven't actually done a book review yet, here's the format of how these things are gonna go. This is a non-spoiler review video, so I will be giving you my opinion on different elements of the book that I really admire, or in another case, not this book that I didn't admire. I admired all things about this book, so I will be talking about that. And then at the end of the video, I'll have a link to a spoiler video where I talk about elements of the story that I just really want to talk about and discuss with anybody who has read it. So if you have not read this book, do not click that link. I loved this book. It made me happy because it reminded me why I love to read so much. First and foremost, I suppose this would be a little bit of a trigger warning. This book deals with really dark subject matter. It starts right off the bat with suicide, depression, self-harm, portrayal of abuse, and of course there's also the main characters dealing with his own sexuality. More Happy Than Not is the story of Aaron Soto. His dad has recently committed suicide. He recently tried to commit suicide himself, and the book is basically about his trying to find happiness. He has a mother and an older brother. He has a girlfriend, but he ends up meeting this boy named Thomas who changes everything about his sexuality, about how he views the world, and basically Aaron's world gets rocked. Aaron does not live in the present, he lives in a near present, so a little bit in the future. There's a couple things that very clear don't exist yet. I hope they don't exist, I'm not going to go into what they are because that's a spoiler, but I hope they don't ever exist. I really loved, in particular, the dialogue in this book. I'm probably going to sound like I did in my creative writing class in a lot of these reviews, but that's how I read books and that's how I think of them. I loved the dialogue in this book. Dialogue is a very tricky thing when it comes to writing. You want it to sound realistic so that your characters don't sound like fake people, because you want your readers to believe that these are people. But the thing is, there's a lot of dialogue in everyday life that shouldn't go in a book. Hey, what's up? Nothing much. Just back and forth, nothing is being said. You want your dialogue to have something being said that matters, but you also want it to flow naturally. Adam Silvera hits such a nice balance in this book because there's no awkward shouldn't be in their dialogue, but there is dialogue that is awkward, and it's for a purpose. For example, there's one character that is trying to talk to another, and they bring up a subject by accident in what they say, and suddenly stumble and go, oh no, that's not what I meant, I'm sorry, I need to walk away. It's awkward, but that's okay, because it's natural and fluid, but it also means something, and that's a very, very, very hard balance to make, and Adam really hits the nail on the head with this one, I think. The book is separated not only into chapters, but also into sections. And to be honest, I didn't really enjoy the first section of the book. I guess I shouldn't really say I didn't enjoy it. I just wasn't that invested. And it felt very slow moving. The plot wasn't really moving at first. It was still good, the writing was still really strong, and so I knew that I wanted to continue it, but I didn't really know where it was going. It really picked up for me after the first section. Like, after that, I couldn't put the book down. So if that happens to you and you pick up this book and you're like, keep going, trust me. So I didn't really pick this up in the very first section of the book, which, surprise, you don't figure out everything about the characters within the first few chapters of a book. What? But the characters are all so good and well fleshed out. While I was reading the first section of the book, I actually thought about discussing how much I wasn't a big fan of some of these characters and how they weren't really that fleshed out. But again, what was I thinking? Of course I'm not going to see the full picture within the first section of the book. All these characters, they're so flawed, beautifully flawed. Not a single one of them has all good qualities. Every single one of them has made mistakes. All of them have done something to hurt someone else. They're teenagers. That's what they do. That's what people do. Sometimes in teenage romances, I get turned off when the main character sees their significant other as perfect and they're not flawed at all, and they feel totally confident in their sexuality, and they're like what the main character wants to aspire to be while also loving them. That's never really been my thing because, again, I don't really buy the fact that people are perfect and totally confident all the time. And I was worried that's what this book was going to do, but it doesn't. It completely shifts everything of what you might be expecting. Anything else I say is going to be a spoiler. It's just really good, guys. This is one of those books that I think you should go into without knowing a lot about the plot. So I've been trying to be a little bit vague in this video about what actually happens in the book, and that's for your own good. But I feel like it's worth mentioning that this is not necessarily a happy read. It's a hard read. The book doesn't really have a happy ending. It has a satisfying ending, but like I said at the beginning of this video, it wrecked me. So keep that in mind. This is not an easy read. But I highly recommend this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, which is the first time I've done that in a very long time with a book. I tend to give books 3s and 4s just because I might really like them, but I don't think they're perfect and they don't inspire me to read more and everything. But this book really, really did. It made me want to pick up another book. It made me not want to pick up another book because I needed time to myself to adjust after having read it because it is so good and so heartbreaking. It kind of pissed me off as a writer. This is Adam Silvera's first book that he's published. You can't be this good right out of the bat, Adam. It shouldn't work like that. So that's my non-spoiler review of More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Casey, I know at the filming of this video you have not read this book, so you better not be clicking the link that's coming up. If you have read More Happy Than Not, or you don't mind being majorly spoiled, which I really suggest don't. If you plan on reading this book, don't look for spoilers. If you want to hear my thoughts on the actual plot that hopefully won't be as vague as this video, click on the screen now and you can go to the discussion video for this book. So that's it for my review. I will have a video up next Thursday, and Casey, I will see you on Monday. Bye, you guys.